One day in North Carolina, near the home of a man named Patrick Conley, wild black bears appeared. The predators didn't just come onto his property, they started behaving very strangely, as if they were intentionally looking for something or someone. The bears walked back and forth and stared intently at Patrick's house, causing him confusion and even fear. Then, as Patrick carefully observed the large black bear, he suddenly realized that the predators had come for a reason. They were looking for him. This story began 3 years ago, when Patrick went for a walk in the woods with his dog on a cold winter morning. He assumed the forest would be safe since he rarely encountered predators in this area. However, to his surprise, 20 minutes from home, he came across a young black bear, one that should have been hibernating at this time of year. The bear did not appear menacing but rather very tired and exhausted. Most likely, the young and inexperienced bear had chosen a poor location for hibernation and was struggling to survive the harsh winter. Patrick realized that without help, the animal would likely die, so he brought fish and fruit from home, which the bear immediately ate. He also brought several bundles of hay to create a warm bed for the predator. Then he built a small shelter out of branches to further protect the bear from the snow and icy wind. After that, Patrick left, hoping the makeshift shelter would help the bear survive the cold winter. A few days later, Patrick cautiously returned to the same spot and was pleased to see that the bear had finally fallen into hibernation inside the shelter. Delighted, he went home, making sure not to approach the bear's unusual den again so as not to disturb its sleep. Over time, Patrick forgot about his good deed and continued living his usual life, hoping the bear had managed to survive the harsh winter. 3 years later, while at home, Patrick heard a loud noise outside and looked out the window. He couldn't believe his eyes. Right on his porch stood an enormous black bear with her cubs. He was shocked and a bit scared, knowing that mother bears are especially dangerous and unpredictable when protecting their young. However, the longer he looked at the bear, the more familiar she seemed. Suddenly, Patrick smiled, realizing this was the same bear he had helped survive the winter 3 years ago. Moreover, she hadn't come alone. She had brought her cubs to introduce them to the kind man who had saved her life. This was the forest predator's incredible way of expressing gratitude. Patrick cautiously stepped onto the porch, trying not to make any sudden movements that might provoke aggression from the mother bear. The bear and her cubs slowly approached the man, who stood in amazement, realizing that his good deed had not been forgotten. He treated the bears to fruits and berries, and even played with them a little before they returned to the forest. However, the amazing story of saving the bear and her unexpected gratitude did not end there. From that day on, the bear, whom Patrick named Simone, frequently visited his house with her cubs, showing no fear of the man and seemingly trusting him completely. Patrick and his unusual guest spent a lot of time in the yard, playing and exploring the area together. He began regularly leaving food and water for the bears near his home, and even filmed their visits to capture these touching moments. The cubs quickly grew more confident and independent. They played joyfully in the garden, climbed trees and fences, and sometimes even interacted with Patrick. Simone remained calm and watchful, appearing completely at ease, which confirmed her deep trust in Patrick. Wild bears usually avoid humans and protect their cubs from potential threats, but Simone knew that this kind man could be trusted. One day, Patrick noticed the cubs showing interest in his dog. At first, he was hesitant to let the predators near his pet, but to his surprise, the cubs and the dog quickly bonded and started playing together. It was an incredible sight. The cubs rolled on the grass and jumped around the dog, while Simone watched from the side, showing no aggression. Patrick didn't just observe the bear and her cubs. He actively documented their visits, recording them on video. Thanks to these recordings, many people were able to witness the unique friendship between a man and a family of bears and be inspired by it. Everyone admired the extraordinary relationship between Patrick and Simone, who, despite her wild nature, trusted him with her most valuable possessions, her defenseless cubs. Nearly 4 years had passed since Patrick first helped the bear through her difficult winter. Now, Simone and her cubs had become a regular part of his life, visiting him as if they were old friends. These visits brought Patrick immense joy. He shared stories about his unusual visitors with friends, and soon the whole neighborhood knew about them. People admired and were inspired by Patrick's kindness, seeing how care and compassion could create a strong bond between a human and a wild animal. As time passed, the cubs grew up and became fully independent, but they continued visiting Patrick's house. Simone often left them to play in the yard, while she ventured into the forest for food. Patrick rejoiced as he watched his little furry friends grow. The grown-up cubs also treated Patrick as one of their own, showing no fear of him and even inviting him to join their playful antics. Patrick eagerly awaits new visits from Simone and her cubs. He continues to observe and film them, documenting their incredible bond. His story is a beautiful example of how humans and wild animals can interact and build trust based on love, kindness, and understanding. It's remarkable how even the wildest and most independent creatures can express gratitude and appreciation toward another species. The friendship between Patrick and Simone continues to grow stronger each year. Every spring, when the bears emerge from hibernation, Patrick eagerly awaits their return. He always prepares treats for them and takes the opportunity to learn more about their behavior and habits. Patrick has become a true friend to the bears, and his home is now known as a place where they can feel completely safe. The story of Patrick and Simone is a powerful reminder of the importance of treating nature and its inhabitants with respect. It demonstrates that even small acts of kindness can have a lasting impact, forging deep connections between humans and the natural world.